But right now I am sporting my very own Reggie Vision goggles to coordinate with you. So at this point, are you still wearing the glasses out of necessity or because of superstition?
No, a little bit of both. I've just gotten used to it, so sticking with them, but mostly just protective. Trying to keep my eye good, try to stay away from contusion. They're getting worse, but just happy to have them.
Well, yeah.
Happy to have them and happy to get another win.
Well, yeah, keep it up. That and the mismatched shoes. You are rolling right now. Look, this early in the first half, you guys were kind of struggling. This was a back-and-forth game. What changed in the third quarter? You hit back-to-back threes, and things really seemed to open up for the team.
We just took care of the ball. I think we took care of the ball, and we made sure to keep them off the offensive glass. Once we did that, everything was okay. But, they're a great team, great young team. They play hard. They stick to their schemes. They switch a lot of defenses, makes it tough on you, but we just had to keep fighting, keep battling through adversity and find a way. So once we cracked it, we felt like we got a groove, and we were fortunate enough to make some shots and pull away.
Yeah, you had a nice groove tonight. You finished with 16 points off the bench. You also had a great block in the first half. But you've been playing a starter role for this team for much of the season. You're back on the bench for the last two games. How do you adjust, especially playing alongside Rajon Rondo?
I just play. I'm sorry that you shorted me on 3 of my points. I hit the last 3, Christina, so ended up with 19. But, no, you just play. Honestly, you just play with those guys. When you play with Rondo, you ain't got to do too much. Just run and get to open spots. But guys have been playing unselfish, and I'm just trying to stay aggressive no matter what my role or no matter if I start or if I come off the bench. I just want to play aggressive, play my game, and do whatever it takes to help this team win.
Keep it up. But, yeah, 19 points. We got to make sure we get that correct.
That's what I'm saying. You my co-star. I thought we looked out for each other.
Let them know, Reggie. Look, headed into the playoffs, what do you want to achieve in these last couple of games? How are you guys going to tune things up?
We want to shore up our offense. We really want to shore up us taking care of the ball, understanding when guys are overloading, move it, play unselfishly, and then stick to our defensive schemes. I think sometimes we're so talented that we get out of what we were trying to do and we get beat, but we stick to the scheme pretty much, figure out if it's going to work for us that night, and most of the time it does. So we just have to stay disciplined. That's going to be one of the biggest things we have to work on going into these playoffs, staying disciplined.
They're supposed to turn the lights out on me, not you. I'm the one who messed up your points there. Great job tonight, Reggie.
Yes, I appreciate you, Christina. Hopefully you're enjoying that nice warm weather. And we're enjoying this warm weather here.
Game show, and boy, what a difference a quarter makes, and half for that matter. Slow start to this one, Don, for the Clippers, but the third quarter was really all that was needed.
Yeah, but the good teams, sometimes you only need a quarter. If you're that explosive and you have that many weapons, you can flip a game around pretty fast, and that's exactly what they did. I think the interesting thing, Corey, is we talked a lot about the bench in the pregame. It seems to be different people from the bench in each game. Tonight, thought Reggie Jackson and Batum were really good. The other night, it was T-Man. And so what a luxury for Ty Lue as we head towards these playoffs.
Yeah, excuse me, Don, you're absolutely right. You look at what happened during this game, and the first quarter, we were actually like, wow, what is happening here? Are they going to turn on the switch at some point? And again, that third quarter, this is what we've seen early in the year before guys started to get injured, that the third quarter provided so much firepower that those opposing teams couldn't match it. And again, this was a scale of that tonight, and you set it down with the bench. You're starting to get production from everyone. Like you said, every single night it can be a different player. But going into the playoffs, you probably want to see – I want to see Reggie being a guy, even for these last 3 games, to be a significant guy, scoring the basketball, making plays. Tonight he had 0 turnovers, just really dissecting the defense opposing teams.
Yeah, you were looking for that switch, Corey. That switch wears frames and mismatched shoes. Carmack's highlight of the game, as in Reggie Jackson, 19 points. Yeah, 19. We don't want to cheat him of anything. 7 of 15 from the floor, Corey.
Man, you know what? You won that, Christina, a little bit. She took 3 points away from me. Thought that was funny. But that's one thing, about players. We always know how many points we have in a game, regardless. And, what is just a fantastic job tonight by Reggie, really to provide that spark that they needed, because you had, Paul George was 7 for 19 tonight, and Kawhi only took, I believe it was 9 shot attempts. So to get that production from Reggie and the way he played downhill, made the right plays, and I just love his three-point shooting now. It's starting to become really consistent when he sets his feet.
You know, we've celebrated Reggie all year because he's been given a lot of different roles and he's done well in all those roles. But I think this is the best role for him with the second unit, more of a scoring option instead of a managing the game, run the team point guard option. And I think if he settles back into this, which it looks like he's going to, he is going to be a huge factor for the Clippers coming off the bench once the playoffs start.
Don McClain, sometimes karma is enjoyable. It was fan appreciation night in Charlotte because this was their final home game. So they got to watch Nick Batum just go off. I thought that was pleasant.
After him not playing at all in Charlotte last year, what a big part.
And they let him go on Twitter.
Yeah, and what a big part he's become of this Clipper team. And so I don't know if Nick got any satisfaction out of tonight going back there and playing well. I'm sure he's a little bit motivated. Well, what a better place he's in. The Charlotte Hornets are on the rise, but they're not a contender like the Clippers are. And like I said about Reggie, Corey, Batum is going to be a major factor come playoff time for the Clippers.
Yeah, he's becoming very consistent. And even when he was in that starting lineup, you kind of thought that this is kind of what we will get from Nicholas Batum, a guy that can stretch the floor. He plays with great length on the basketball court because of, defensively, he makes the right reads. He's very, very unselfish. And so now you're starting to see what this Clipper team needs coming off the bench. And Nicholas Batum is doing a fantastic job as well.
I was worried at halftime that Kawhi Leonard was going to need to play too many minutes tonight, but he got just enough. We're going to look at his game when we come back. Not talking about the points, not talking about rebounds. It's another stat. The claw went off. Kawhi Leonard's work at the office tonight. 10 points in that third quarter, but what really jumped off the page, Don, were the assists that Kawhi was a part of tonight. 9, a team effort of 27, but Kawhi putting himself right where he needed to be.
Yeah, and the really good players in this league can control how they play, and they read the defense. Charlotte changes defenses a lot. But what's interesting to me is that Kawhi is now just kind of out there getting his minutes and reading the game and letting the game come to him, knowing that starting next week, he's going to have to take control of the game. And so I think getting everybody involved like he did tonight is important to keep everyone's confidence up. But Kawhi, we know, has another gear, another switch that he can flip. I expect to see that a week from this weekend. But a good job of doing what needed to be done tonight, Corey, to win this game.
Yeah, he was very effective in that third quarter. He was 3 for 3 from the field. He had 10 points, and he had 4 dimes. And he just understands when to turn on, but basically when to press the gas. And I just love his patience on the basketball court. He's Paul George. And so I know that when he gets those open looks, he's going to knock it down. And he's not just a one-dimensional player for everyone. He's not one-dimensional. He's a defense-first type of guy. He's going to shoot the basketball. And you look at his stats, is 20, 10, and 6 dimes because he continued to play, even though his shots weren't falling in the beginning. But, I'm not worried about Paul George. I think his mindset this entire year has been totally different. And, everyone in the league, you better look out once the playoff starts at PG.
Yeah, he's a rhythm player. When he gets into a rhythm early, he usually goes off for whatever reason. The last few games, he hasn't gotten into a rhythm. But I don't think anybody's concerned about PG heading down the home stretch here as we start the playoffs. We know how motivated he is and we said it in the pregame, to kind of take away what happened in the bubble. Not concerned about PG at all.
Well, if you guys are superstitious, I think we're finishing out the regular season from home, because as we get to the CarMax Call Your Shot, guess what? Terry Rozier averaging almost 31 points a game over his last 3. I asked you guys both if he would score 25 or less tonight. Winner, chicken dinner for both you guys.
Yeah, I figured a locked-in Clipper defense that's playing for something isn't going to let a guy like Terry Rozier get in the way of them clinching the 3 seed. They did a good job on him tonight. He's a high volume guy, and he continued to miss, and they held him down. A big reason why the Clippers won.
Yeah, they did an amazing job by building a wall in the paint when Terry Rozier attacked the basket, and started with Patrick Beverley, the anchor on the defense. He wanted to put that pressure on Terry Rozier, and so that's the reason why I'm a LockYouDown.com starring Mr. Patrick Beverley.
All right, it's starting up again. Go